All right, let's do a session recap for those of you playing along at home. All right. In session 66, we started at the Scarred Ruin, a dwarven tavern in Relfina Gate, where we meet up with Moth and Melnoth and Nook 2 weeks after their previous adventures in Lowside at the Dead House. And while they were sitting there at the Scarred Ruin, a young waif comes in and brings a note to Nook from a former com- adventuring companion of his named George, who, along with his wife Hilda, is now the proprietor of a other tavern in Kettledown called the Sword and the Lyre. And George has sent this waif with the note to ask them to meet George at the Sword and Lyre for a possible employment opportunity the next evening. But it turned out that the young one was actually a day late. He got, I don't know, held up or whatever, and they actually have to get there uh, before the end of the evening tonight. So off they ran down towards Kettle Down, and on the way though they were waylaid by this large brute of a guy and two others who were clearly vampire hunters. And they asked the party why they were working for the necromancers of the Bone Covenant, and the party said that they were only hired to move a brass barrel across town. They knew nothing about what was being done with it or what the barrel actually was, and you had learned in time that it wasn't just a barrel, it was a halfling burial barrel. Yeah. Um, anyways, the party convinced this brute that they weren't knowingly working for the necromancers of the Bone Covenant, and in fact, they had killed a vampire at the Dead House in Lowside. But this guy assured them that that was no vampire that they had slain. That was actually a vampire spawn, and he mentioned the name Bethneda, who was a minion of a vampire called Falinor. So while this is all going on, one of this vampire hunter's female companion, along with a couple others, they just want to get at the party for the assault that happened in Ralphina Gate 2 weeks prior, where a smaller group of these vampire hunters attacked your group outside of Mr. Woogan's shop there, and uh, you guys ended up killing them all. So this woman among the vampire hunters, she wants blood, but her leader there, the brutish guy, kind of keeps her uh, keeps her under control. And when you guys pointed out that like you actually did them a favor by taking out this female halfling vampire spawn, he's like, okay, well, you're right. You know what, we're even for now, but maybe the next time we meet, it won't be all sunshine and lollipops, so to speak, right? So he continued on to the Sword and Lyre in Kettledown, and there you met George and Hilda. Nook, you hadn't seen them since Blackfish Bay 3 years prior, and it was there. George comes out and hushes the crowd, raises a toast to the fallen, and at that point you notice that the tables of the tavern are all carved with various names and little sayings of their exploits. And Nook, you notice in the middle of the table that you're sitting at, you see two of your former companions' names carved there, and that was Lauren and Theana, who you recall died at Blackfish Bay in the tomb of Sir Esborn. George comes over after doing his toast for the crowd, and he asks you to look into the disappearance of a Kettledown jeweler named Darvin. And he wants, or at least the people that are interested in this, are willing to pay 500 gold pieces for you to bring him back alive, or with proof of his death, 250 gold pieces. So you figured the first place to go would be Darvin's shop. Um, over here. Let's see. Ooh, where's my map here? Yeah, up in this northern part of Kettledown. So you head over there. On the way, though, you run into a small guard patrol looking, and they seem like they were more interested in getting donations for the orphans fund, as they called it, rather than the actually patrolling the streets for crime. Um, but with some fast talking on your part, you were able to get past them. Arriving at Darwin's late in the night, you find that, strangely enough, that it's been 3 days since he's been missing, and the front door to his shop is open, ajar, and but strangely enough, it doesn't seem like anybody's come in and robbed the place. Right, you can actually see gems lying on the ground in the shop, and who was it first? I think it was Moth. You tried to walk in, or was it Nook? Um,
No, those guys
first,
tried to. Well, yeah, Moth
yeah,
and Nick tried
both
to
of them,
go
yeah,
first.
Oh,
Hmm.
yeah, and there was just, as soon as you tried to step over the threshold, there was this sense of dread that just came over you, and you decided, no, 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 that wasn't for you, and you all tried to do it, and you just could not cross the threshold, but. But then who was it that decided to go up via the roof? Was it
Those guys lifted me up to the roof.
you went
To
up
the
to the
roof.
roof, Melnoth,
Yeah.
that's right. And then you made your way down to the back of the
Hmm.
shop because there wasn't any way
Hmm.
to get in, even though somebody made a jest about, somebody going down the chimney. Um,
Hmm.
but Melnoth, you found a window in the back, and you went
Hmm.
into the shop, and you were in a storage room. You made your way into the shop itself, and you noticed that, like, the glass display cases that were still intact,
Hmm.
were covered in ice,
Hmm.
and there were gems lying on the ground, but it didn't really look like, like I said, anybody had come in here and ransacked the place. So another thing you found while you were there that you picked up was a bone ring with a strange
Yes.
symbol on it, right?
Yes.
And at that point, you decided to get out of there, and you went out, back out. I think, did you go through the back door or the window?
yeah.
Yes. No, we
Back
went to the
door.
back. Yeah.
Back door.
Hmm.
Okay, right. Yeah, so you went out the back door, and as you were discussing that with your companions, a beggar woman came out from behind some crates in the alleyway, and she said to Melnoth that Father Albrecht had sent you. He needed your help, and that's where we left off from last session. Before we go forward, are there any questions? No? Okay. So as you're standing there in the alleyway, yes, this woman is, is said that Father Albrecht's sent her to find you, um, and that you would be able to help with the matter of great importance to him and to the followers of Idris in Lowside.
Do I recognize her?
Um, I'll make an intelligence check, and we'll see if you do.
Okay. Sure. Sure. Sure.
Just whether I just want to see whether now doesn't.
Wink. Yes.
Yeah, okay. So someone that you do know, she's an almswoman, a beggar woman,
Okay.
who works for the I, I guess you want to call it the temple. But see, Idris doesn't actually have a temple. The only sanctioned place for worship would be the Temple of the Fallen,
Hmm.
and that's number 3 here on the map, just outside the cathedral area. Uh,
Hmm.
and they're not even they're more like, worshiping niches or nooks, that are sanctioned for these smaller quiet gods to be worshipped at, right? But there's no, other than the the temple of the three sisters of death and the
Mm-hmm.
cathedral of Thraxis, there's no big,
Mm-hmm.
temples of any other gods in the city, right? Um,
Okay.
but you know that she does work for Father Albrecht and the works that he does as a cleric of Idris, the god of hope. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. All right. I will say I'll ask her. I'll say did Albrecht say what this is all about?
No. Well, all I know is that our our
Me?
our faithful have been um, harassed as of late by some band of ne'er do wells. They've been robbing the alms bowls and
Hmm.
just causing trouble for us in Lowside.
Okay. I'll Melnath will he'll nod and then he'll kind of squint at her as he's kind of looking her up and down and kind of looks around and he says, "How did you know where to find me?"
Good question.
Okay. That really wasn't meant to to
She
compliment you. I just wanted to make sure.
she
Just
she
blind.
just hoped you would be there.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Okay. she's been following along for a distance since you met since you left the oh my gosh, scarred ruin earlier in the Oh,
evening. Okay.
okay.
Uh
I'd say it's very dangerous for you to be walking these streets at this time.
uh
Um,
she's an older lady,
I know.
late middle age, and she knows her way through
Okay.
these alleyways
Ah,
quite well.
okay. Okay.
She's not afraid
She's no
of
stranger
that.
to
No,
the
no, not at all.
underbelly. Okay.
No, not at all. Uh-uh.
Okay.
Uh-uh.
All right. Melnath will thank her for the message and I appreciate your diligence in this. And he kind of reaches in his robe for a coin and then looks over at Nook and elbows Nook and says, "Nook, the proper thing is to do is to reward the woman for her duty, don't you think?" Way down.
Way, way down.
A wooden nickel. Now,
All along. Mhm.
now
All right.
hurry along, hurry along.
Her name is, you will recall now, is Ressa.
Rasa, okay, all right.
Ressa. Right.
Okay, hurry along, Rasa. And thank you
What
again.
what am I to tell Father Albrecht?
You can tell him that I'll be there promptly.
Thank you so much, she says. And as she steps away into the alleyway, that's when you all notice that the alleyway is suddenly heavy with fog, clinging to the cobbles here
Okay,
behind Darvin's shop.
okay.
And suddenly, it's her. She's lost in the fog,
Hmm.
and there was other some city noises. You might have heard a dog bark here or there, a wagon moving through the streets. But all of a sudden, it just goes dead silence.
Mm,
Okay.
okay.
Even the city's usual nighttime murmur, it just cuts out. The wind falls. There's no
Mm.
sound, just this eerie silence.
I think
And yes, you're,
Moth is going to mutter. I think maybe going inside that building might be a good idea.
Oh, back inside? Okay. The fog's not coming from the doorway, coming out into the alley from the building, is it?
Yes, actually, it is.
Oh
It
gosh.
is. Yes.
Okay.
Uh,
I was coming.
It just
I
kind
was
of
coming.
like no, you guys just like weren't aware, like you were in the middle of your conversation, right?
mhm.
You're like not really aware, but now that you mention it, yeah, it is coming from inside the shop, and you hear also too, Melnoth. All of a sudden, you get this really cold, painful pulse
Mm. Oh boy.
coming from the pocket where you've put that ring.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and
Okay.
inside the shop, you hear a faint clacking echo, like
Lacking echo.
finger bones tapping on glass.
That's
All
very
right.
specific.
Moss is going to pull out an oil flask and light
Oh
it
boy.
and
Oh
throw
boy.
it through the window of the shop.
Oh! Okay, well, not like I can stop. I just see my gems lighting up.
Oh,
Your
okay.
gems will be fine.
All right. Well, yes, if you threw it in through that window with all the various supplies that were in that supply room, it would not take long
Mhm.
for the flames to go up, and the polished whisper is now aflame.
Mm.
Hmm.
All right, time to go, guys. Let's go.
Okay,
Let's
I
go
gotta,
see
I,
this father.
I gotta roll dice. I gotta roll dice. Hold on, because it's like,
Guys hear Mel Knox
actually, you know what? One of you roll six-sided dice, okay? If
sigh.
if if you
I'll do
roll
it.
a 4 or an above, whoever's in there or whatever's in there will come out the back door.
Oh gosh. Great.
A 6.
Something's coming out the back door.
Oh
All
gosh.
right. Fate point. You sound like my son with his luck tokens, Shadow Dark. Can I re-roll that? All right. So there's the flames are spreading in the shop
Mhm.
quickly, and you can discern that there's a couple of shadows moving through the shop, but
Mm.
one moves towards the back door, and I'll show you what you're dealing with here, or maybe I won't. Yeah, I'll describe it to you. Okay, so
Mhm.
out of the door comes a skeletal looking creature,
Mm.
um, with glowing red eyes. All the
Wow.
bones are etched with runes on this creature,
Ooh.
and there are organs in its rib cage
Mhm.
that are glowing with a eerie, mystical light. Okay,
Mm.
and so it comes out. Uh, Maybe it was fleeing the flames and just took the quickest exit it could. But
Mhm.
now it is standing just outside the doorway, and it sees you three.
Mhm.
All right. So
Great. Great. Great.
um, I'm not going to roll for surprise for that because it just boom.
Mhm.
Um, but let's roll for surprise. Actually, maybe we should roll for surprise. Yeah. No, no. I mean, were you surprised? Were they surprised to see you there? Yeah, sure. Let's do that. Okay. All right. I changed my
Where
mind.
did this fire come from?
No, but where'd you guys come from? Right? Like, was he surprised to see you there? Right?
All right.
And he was not surprised.
Okay.
Okay. And somebody roll for.
Oh gosh.
Somebody else
Let's
roll.
see. Anybody want to roll? Want to roll?
26. Okay.
One d
All right.
six. 1d6.
Yeah. Let's see. Hopefully, if I roll, that should be good for today. Initiative. Initiative. Here we go. There we go. All right.
Okay, you're rolling initiative. You're rolling
Mm,
surprise. What was
mm.
that?
Oh,
That
you're just supposed to roll
was.
surprise.
Surprise.
Oh,
Surprise.
I'm sorry. I thought it was initiative.
Sorry.
Okay.
That's all right.
No,
Sorry.
no, no, no. It's
All
okay.
right.
Now it's
So,
initiative.
surprise. There you
Okay,
go.
no one is surprised. Okay,
Okay.
so he comes out,
Okay.
and you all become aware of each other at the same time. And what do you want to do when you see this thing?
I'm rushing it.
Run.
Roll
Rush,
initiative. Okay, yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, are you going to attack? Are you going to run? Are you going to cast something?
No,
What? Let's declare first, and then
I'm going to attack it with my halberd.
Oh
okay.
wow.
The others, Melnoth.
Melnot's not gonna. He's gonna hold as he. Uh. Yeah. I don't. He doesn't think there's anything he can do to this thing. So.
Scott
He.
Organs. It's something I can
Yeah, but
slice.
organs don't. Yeah. Yeah. Organs don't. I'll
Hello.
try. I'll try something. Okay. All right. Since Moth rushes in, uh, uh, Melnoth realizes that if anything, if either Moth or Nook hold, his chances of survival are next to nothing. So he will stay and attempt to aid them in any way he can. So he'll stay. He'll pull out the silvered stake he's got.
Okay,
So
and Nook,
sorry,
what are you going to
that
do?
took that took a long time.
Hmm. All right. So, as I said,
Hmm.
we're gonna do this in a clockwise motion.
Hmm.
Right. I've got Moth at the 12 o'clock, Nook at 3 o'clock, me, the creature, at 6 o'clock, and Melnoth at 9 o'clock. Okay. So let's roll. Everybody roll for initiative, and we'll see. The highest person is where we're gonna start from, and we'll go clockwise from that. Okay. Who's that? That's Moth. 7. Okay.